Story time. So guys, yesterday I was looking after a patient and she come up and offered me a bun, and I said I couldn't have one because I was doing the intermittent fasting, but thank you anyway. She said, God, my husband's been doing that for many years. She said, here's a story. He'll be up at visiting hours. He'd tell you all about it. Fast forward, visiting hours came and me and him get chatting away about the whole thing, and I couldn't believe it. He told me. So he was a 66-year-old man, lovely guy. He was very open and very honest about everything. He said when he was 40, he owned a very busy construction company in Northern Ireland, had a manpower of 150 men. He was eating out all the time. He boiled it down to his diet. And he said that he was having very severe cramps in his stomach. He had put on weight. He was about 35 to 40 pound overweight. But he started like passing blood when he was going to the toilet. And he was convinced he had bowel cancer. So he went private and everything came back clear. Thank God he didn't have it. It came back that he had a bit of inflammation in his stomach and his intestine. So they said they couldn't do anything about it, change his diet. So cut a long story short, he went to the Mediterranean, a cruise, him and his wife, and they met this other couple who both of them were doctors. And they were American. And the American doctor had said to him, I advise you to do the intermittent fasting. And this guy can't say his name, but this guy had no notion of what it was. But he explained everything to him. They exchanged numbers, and he really kept up to date with what he was doing. So he started off doing 18 hours fasting and a window of 6 hours what he could eat. So he says he did that for about a month or two. He was so busy in his construction company that he never noticed anything, but his wife did. The blood had stopped. He had stopped passing blood and his stomach was going down. Obviously, he was losing weight and he had more energy, but he just said he was so busy with work and he didn't even take heed. So he had a checkup in the private about 2 months later or something, and there was no inflammation there. So he said to himself, oh my God, this must be working. So fast forward 6 months later, he was 42 pound in weight. He had so much energy and he was completely, like he said himself, I completely cured him for what he was feeling. He didn't have any of the symptoms or nothing. He just says he felt so much better. So he said to me, you think about it, love. See your stomach. He said, I really looked into it. He said, like, you have your pancreas, you have your kidney, you have your liver, you have your intestines, you have your colon, you have your bowel. He said, that is your second brain. And I've heard that before, but it just shows you how much the intermittent fasting looks after your stomach. Another thing he said to me, his sister lives away and was having an awful lot of women problems. We talked for like a half an hour, and he said that he told her to do it, and obviously everything, and she doesn't have any of that no more. It is so crazy. But this guy I was just blown away by his story, and he says he'll do 16/8 for the rest of his life. He said because he's on no medication.